So it was just announced like an hour ago that AEW All-In 2025 is going to be in Texas. It's going to be in Texas. Twitter is going to be an absolute hellstorm tonight with regards to this announcement, with people saying that they shouldn't have done it, they should have done this, and blah, blah, blah. I actually disagree with all of that. I think if they're going to do an All-In 2025, not out of the country, it should be in Texas, and you know what? I don't want them to do something out of the country again, and here's why. I think All-In 1 proved that AEW can sell tickets outside of the USA great. They broke records, they did that, whatever. And then All-In 2, now obviously they're not going to get the 80,000 tickets, like last year, but I think they're at like 50,000 or something right now, and, obviously AEW is not as hot as it was in 2023, and even then it wasn't doing so hot. And we can only imagine what's going to happen in 2025 for AEW, because if they went back to London again for a third year, I don't think they would sell a lot of tickets. I think it just wouldn't be right. It wouldn't look right. It wouldn't feel right. And I mean, where else are they going to go? The Jags are very popular in London. And so I think it was a good market for 2 years for All-In, and that's great. Come back to America, and they're in Texas. Now, I love this for a couple of reasons. For one, obviously I don't think they should be going international for this next All-In. I think AEW needs to rebuild itself a little bit, because, which I don't know if they're going to do, but that's a whole other issue. So they're doing All-In in Texas, and I like that because it's not New York. You know what I mean? It's not Chicago. It's not Las Vegas. It's not in a place where they do these yearly pay-per-view or pay-per-view-like events. They go to Arthur Ashe Stadium every year. They've been doing that for like 4 years or 5 years now. And the ticket sales for the Arthur Ashe show are not very high right now. In their first year, when they did the first Grand Slam, they sold like 20,000 tickets at Arthur Ashe. And it was only like last year when they only sold like 8,000 or 9,000. You know what I mean? So Texas, it's a good market. It's not like Chicago where they do all out every year. They're not getting burnt out in Texas. Obviously, they've been to Texas before, and Texas, it's a great state to have wrestling in, because wrestling is, it's popular in Texas. But it's not it's not a Las Vegas, where they're kind of burning out the market by running shows there every year. So they're going to do All-In 2025 in Texas. I'm a big fan of this. I love this. As for, what the show is going to be like, I mean, I have no idea. We have no idea what AEW is going to look like in 2025. If it's going down the same path that it's currently going, and Tony Khan does not listen to the critics, not even critics, but just fans, just if he doesn't listen to his own, like the people who watch the show, then I don't even know what to say. It's just going to keep going downhill, and who knows how many people are actually going to show up, for All-In Texas. But that's a Tony Khan problem. That's an AEW problem. I don't need to concern myself with that. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. And you know what? I'm going to make a video in a couple of days, maybe even tomorrow, I don't know, about what AEW is going to look like in 2025. I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to go through what, the trajectory, where they're headed. I'm going to go through, what they can possibly do, what Tony Khan and AEW can possibly do to build themselves back up. And maybe I'll have a guest or two on, because I do want to talk about AEW, about wrestling, to some people that I've seen on Twitter, so I'm going to start asking people. You let me know what you think about this announcement, All-In Texas. I love it. That's it. Good night.